We're here today with my wife Sandra and John. How you doing, John?
Oh, I'm great. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else on the planet.
On the show today, we have Don Geisler, who is the owner and designated broker of our brokerage, Indie Realty. And later on today, we're going to have Angela Moore and Annalisa Masuna, who are discussing real estate sales and planning. So beginning with you, Don, how are you doing, sir?
I am doing wonderful. I also wouldn't want to be anywhere else on the planet right now.
Yeah, it's like having a member of the family here every time you hear Don.
It is so fun. And I don't know if you guys have been outside lately, but it kind of feels like winter out there. It's fun.
Isn't it great?
My goodness, I'm wearing
feel a
long
lot like
sleeves.
Christmas for sure.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's really good.
I got up this morning. You brought it up. Now I'm going to run with this. I got up this morning, and so we're recording on Thursday. And I asked Alexa, I said, what's the weather today? And I got back 58 degrees with a high of 60. And I was like, no, Alexa, what's the weather in Tucson today?
Right.
58 60 with a high of 60. And I just was floored.
I'm such a baby. I go straight from, from AC straight to the next day, the heat on. There's no in between. There's no time to enjoy having it off. Sometimes on the same day.
Yeah.
And it just works that way. I have to be right. I do not like the cold weather at all, but it's fun out there.
That's Tucson for you.
I thought we'd begin the show talking about the business and how it's going, how it's growing so far since the last time we talked with you, Don.
Our brokerage, Indie Realty, is going fantastic. We have opened our new office location at 7255 East Tanca Verde Road. A lot of you, if you've heard me talking about along the way, getting it ready, and now it's it's not fully furnished and stuff, but it just came out so wonderful. It's so gratifying. I actually had a service person come in who serviced the building before we did the remodel, and he said, I didn't even recognize the place. I didn't realize I was in the same place. And that was the most gratifying thing I heard in a long time, because I've been in there every single day for months and months and months. And it's nice to hear that our vision has come true. So, not just for the building, but our company, our platform, our systems, and our agent population is just so wonderful, so fantastic. I mean, could not ask for anything more.
Yeah, we've grown a lot since the last time we talked.
We definitely have. We have agents coming on board monthly. And seriously, I say this in all of the word that I put out in the street, but agents really love working at Indie Realty. And we just love being there. It's just going so well. Beyond better than I ever could have even dreamed.
And you have a new business manager, office manager.
We do. We have Jackie Torres. She is our new branch manager. And we have another managing broker on board. So I could not be more gratified to have such a wonderful professional helping lead the company, lead the organization. And just things are wonderful.
Great.
It's funny because people ask, who we work for. And when we say Indie, they ask, what does that stand for? Do you get that a lot?
I do. I do. And I can tell you that the core of our advertising campaign, our outreach, as far as the business advertising goes, is to exactly explain that, which is that Indie, in case you're not aware, is short for independent. And we put such a high premium on being independent. It's something that's near and dear to me. One of my highest operating core values is freedom, and that resonates with me in lots and lots of different ways. But as a company, we really value independence. I think that our agents, our real estate professionals that work with us, also highly value independence, autonomy, the ability to operate their business the way they want to operate it. And one of my driving principles is that we don't do things a certain way just because that's the way that it's always been done. So being independent is important to me. And I also feel very strongly that the population of buyers and sellers are coming to value independence a lot. We see that they're gravitating toward models that acknowledge the fact that this is their home, this is their investment. We are the professionals. We are there to give them guidance and counsel them and give them the best advice that we can in line with our expertise. But we do have to remember this is their property, their home, their investment, and we absolutely defer and take into consideration that the consumers, the sellers, the buyers, they really appreciate independence also.
There was something that you said there about the guidance that I think buyers and sellers need today more than they have in recent times, for sure.
I think they do. I think it's critically important. I mean, the market has shifted. I mean, everybody knows that, so it's not like we're breaking news here or coming across as all that profound or anything, But the market shifted, and there's lots of demand for property still, but the nuance of and the flavor of that demand has changed. Okay, because if interest rates are now bumping 7%, which is still, incidentally, a phenomenal historical rate for interest rates on a home purchase, but it's not in sync with what we are used to seeing in recent history.
Right.
So it has shifted. So that means the mindset of the buying population has shifted, and the mindset of the selling population is shifting also. But it is so important to be affiliated with a real estate professional that is in tune with what's going on, that is an expert, and that can guide you. And for us agents, it's really important to be able to communicate and set expectations about what the market looks like now. Well, your house will sell. John.
Well, I just wanted to close with this question before we went into the break. I mean, with Ray and Sandra, you have like the Babe Ruth and Mickey Mantle of real estate agents.
Oh, thank you.
And you're talking about so many, new real estate agents you're bringing on. Like, what would you account to, one, being able to get amazing real estate agents like Ray and Sandra, and what's really appealing the new agents that you're bringing on?
Well, always universally, agents are, people that get in the real estate industry, they're intrigued by the flexibility, by the freedom, by being their own boss, and I think that that's something that we bring. And at Indie Realty, I think we provide that, but with that autonomy, I mean, they learn that they have to work really hard. But what really brings people into the business is a spirit of service. I mean, I don't know anybody or hire anybody that just chases commission checks. I mean, any real estate agent that I know is more than willing to say, I don't believe you should continue down this path for whatever reason.
Yes.
If it's not right for you, if you don't believe in it, whatever, as opposed to chasing checks. So, I mean, kind of the overriding answer to that question is people look for flexibility in their career. They want to have that freedom and flexibility, but they also have to be so passionate about service, about relationships, and about people. And when you focus on those things, the checks just come. Like, you make your living, and it just comes.
Yeah, we're going to be discussing more about real estate with our designated broker, Don Geisler, who's also the owner of the company. And let you know you're listening to the I Am Real Estate Show with Sandra Johnson and Ray Smith on KVOI 1030, The Voice. We're going to continue in the next break. We hope you're having a good time. We're working really hard to try to bring as much information as possible to you guys. We're really having so much fun, me and my wife, and doing this show. Just keep listening. We promise you're going to have some more great content. And don't forget, on the second part of the show, we'll be talking about estate sales and a little bit about that information. I think we're going to have a great time with the show. So we're going to break, and we will talk to you on the backside.
Yep.
We're back with Don Geisler, who is the owner and designated broker for Indie Realty. He also talks about having high caliber real estate agents. He didn't talk about that. I just heard that word, and I thought I'd use it.
Oh, yeah, I know that as a fact. As a fact. They helped me buy my house.
Before we went on break, you were asking about what I think attracts agents to the brokerage. And for us, part of it is that independence that you have working for a small, I say small, but a local company. Part of it was just that you need to feel good about it when you go to work every day.
Yes.
And you need to know that your broker is giving you great advice. Stay out. We call it real estate jail. There really is no real estate jail, but you want to stay out of trouble, and make sure that you're doing things right. But you also want to feel good about going into the office and seeing the people that you're working with and know that you're working with really quality people. Yeah. And that's probably the first reason that we walked through the door and talked to Don. So
yeah, and my thought in asking that question, I know Don would never admit it, but just his poise. Like, I could definitely see, in you guys working for him, why you believe in him and why you trust in him, and why you followed his lead to this point, because he just has uncanny poise, and he just really has a way about him and has a knowledge base about him that shines through every time he speaks. So
absolutely,
that's my compliment to you, Don.
Well, I certainly appreciate that, and we to pick up on what we were saying before, because we are independent, and because you guys always hear me talking about independence and freedom, it most certainly doesn't mean that we have a willy-nilly operation going on there. One of the things that we take the most pride in, and why I'm so thrilled to have brought on Jackie as our new managing broker to be additional support, is that supporting our agents is what we do. And we take the most pride into helping them grow their business, helping them get through their transactions, but also creating a culture that everybody loves. And I say the word loves, and I mean it. Culture is a buzzword that you can go anywhere you want and interview for any position, and people are spouting the word culture.
Yes.
But we live it. We are trying every day to create and maintain a culture that people want to be a part of. That's one of the most important things. And, to have the expertise and to be able to appropriately support the agents and support our professionals in their career is among the biggest parts of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're just thrilled to be part of the company. So let's shift here and talk a little bit about the market. You mentioned the market has shifted, but if you were having a conversation with a seller today, what types of talking points would you be hitting, when you're talking about what they can expect in today's market?
I could quote all of our hotline response, all the time, which we always giggle about, which is, it depends. And
my favorite words.
It depends on where they're coming from, because when somebody is looking at you saying, okay, we understand the market has shifted, tell us what that means and tell us what we need to do,
right?
To achieve our goals. That's one thing, and that means right now you have to have flexibility. You have to be able to understand that we peaked at a price point that is not necessarily still there. That is an imaginary, arbitrary figure. Our goal is going to be go out and get your house sold in the time frame that you want for the most money that we can get you with regard to the time frame that you desire. So the flexibility is really important. Like, for example, if rates have gone up, which have made buyers tight on what they can qualify for, or made them fearful even, we need to be able to say, as a seller, we're going to offer the concessions that will encourage you to view our home as a good value. Not only a home that you're in love with and an emotional, but also a very good value. So what if as a seller, we may have to offer to pay a buyer's closing costs because their interest rates have gone up, or we may have to say, we are willing to contribute to a buy down of your interest rate. There's all kind of products out there. There's the 3-2-1 buy down out there. There's all kind of great stuff out there that can help buyers get into their home. And, sellers just need to understand the market changes every day. So what you saw 6 months ago is not necessarily what exists right now. Now, if they're coming at you just with my neighbor sold for this much 6 months ago, and that's what I expect, then you may have to have that conversation. We go in with our tools and we dial down. Well, let's show you and let's take a look together at what's happening in your neighborhood over the last 3 months or over the last 2 months.
Right.
So I can give you the best information I can give you, and you can make the best decisions that you can. But flexibility and not being too fixated on a particular number, and breathing a little bit, being willing to listen and to collaborate. I'll say this, I've said this so many times. A client said this to me, it always stuck with me. Selling a home is a collaborative effort. Okay, and so that means that we give you the advice, we implement our marketing plans that we believe in, but the seller has to be on board, and the seller has to agree. And what I say is, if we want to test the market, you tell me, well, I want to see what the market says. Well, okay, we're going to do what you want to do. So if you want to go on the market at this price and these terms, and you're saying we want to see what the market says, I'm more than willing to do that. And the second that we do it, we're going to give you world-class marketing and care and expertise. But in 30 days, if we're still sitting, then we may have to say, okay, the market has spoken. So you said that you wanted to talk to me, that we wanted to see what the market says. Now you just have to commit to me that when the market speaks, you'll listen and we'll work together and collaborate to achieve your goals. And it's funny because we were just having a conversation before, and we're looking at, days on market in certain areas is now 60 or 90 or 120 days, and it feels alarming. And for me, 22 years in, those numbers aren't alarming at all. Those numbers are normal.
Right.
I mean, the 1 day on the market and 2 and zeros that we've seen recently, those are the alarming numbers.
Those are the numbers.
So we need to make sure everybody understands we might be just tilting into a normal market. And guess what? That's what we do. That's what we do. That's what we're here to help you with.
Right. We still have people that are out looking to buy homes. We still have people that are looking to sell homes. And we just need to find a way to get that information out there so that they find each other.
Yeah, and I must say, kind of from the client standpoint, the best thing that my wife and I did in the process of purchasing our home, which closed October, just a month ago now. It's weird to think. Yeah. Is taking you guys' advice. Like, and if there's anything that I can tell to people out there that are getting with real estate agents, particularly that are getting with you guys, just follow their lead. Like let them take your hand like a little baby, because the more you do, the smoother it'll go.
Yeah. We like to, Don, how does people get a hold of you, please, sir?
You can always reach me at 520-869-2376. That is my direct line. I am the designated broker and CEO of Indie Realty. We have a lot to share. We've got great platforms, great programs, and just a fantastic new location in a great part of town. So absolutely reach out to me. You can check out our website at indie-realty.com. We have a careers page on there. We have home value automated valuation tools on there. If you're interested in what your home's worth, jump on there. Let us know if you have questions.
Yep. One thing to mention is that Don talked about 3-2-1 buy down. We'll let you know that we're going to have John Spur on the show in about a couple of weeks to talk about those things. So if you have any questions, just get a hold of us and we'll be able to talk to you. So this is Ray Smith and Sandra Johnson. We are on break, going to a break, saying thank you, Don, for coming on the show again today.
Thanks for having me again, y'all. It's fun.
And don't forget, y'all, he's one of our sponsors, so come on to Indy.